Tacos, Turbos, and Toothpicks. It's Calvin, and as you can see, we're back on the road. You guys are back on a phone mount. We got the trailer behind us. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of things coming together on this rainy Saturday morning. But, ladies and gentlemen, I know we didn't cover a lot of YouTube videos here in Virginia. Beautiful country, beautiful campground. Just a pretty awesome place that we weren't really expecting to go to. But that is a closed chapter for us. It has been 13 weeks. Jasmine's last day was yesterday. Her last day was actually supposed to be today, but earlier in the week, her manager called her and see if she could switch a shift. So she only had to work Thursday and Friday instead of Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it all kind of worked out. We were planning on going home tomorrow. We were able to shoot home a day early. I'm super excited. I think Jasmine's excited. Bubby's definitely excited. We are on the road headed back to the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and it is a beautiful thing. And beautiful thing. Finally got my phone mount. As you guys know, I had one in my black truck, and then I tried to put it into this truck, but it just didn't work out because it got dirty on the thing. Anyway, you guys don't care about that. It just didn't work out. Had to throw that one away. Got a new one, fresh to death. We on deck on this wonderful Highway 81, and I say that sarcastically because other than how beautiful the area is, this is probably one of my least favorite highways. The mountain scenery, hiking, the rolling rivers, creeks that go through everywhere. It's just a beautiful place, but this highway and some of the roads around here are a little wild for an Eastern Shore boy like me who grew up where it was flatlands and everything else. So all in all, we were outside of Roanoke, Virginia, beautiful area, like I said. We didn't really get to do as much as we would like. So one of the reasons Jasmine picked this contract is because it was the closest one to home. We were roughly 5.5 hours away from home. Not super close, but closer than Missouri and Texas was, if you know what I'm saying. So it kind of helped us, hurt us. We didn't really get to enjoy a lot of things in the area because every time we got an opportunity, we were heading back home. And for that reason, we're thankful because there are some reasons that we had to go back home, like to go get Bubby. He was back in our near Jasmine's hometown, so we went back and got him. We had some family stuff we had to go home and take care of, see our people back in Maryland, and be able to enjoy ourselves. People were making the joke that it was like, you're not even gone anymore, you're here like every other weekend. We basically were. With planning out our year, this is kind of how we plan to do 3 contracts and then be able to come home for the month of December so we can be home for the holidays. And we're excited to get home. It is the first week in December, so we're able to kick back, relax, get our Christmas shopping done, spend some time with friends and family, probably do some golfing, winter golf. It's one of my favorite things to do. And then kick back for the holidays. And then as of now, the game plan is to start back on another contract as of, the first or second weekend of January. I got a buddy of mine to put in an electrical system so we can plug into my mom's house. But we're still going to kind of live with her so we don't fill up our gray tanks and our black tanks. Just kind of use that as like our home away from home a little bit. But yeah, we'll see you back in Maryland. What is up, guys, and Merry Christmas. I hope you guys had a wonderful holidays with your friends and family. Here at Tacos, Turbos, and Toothpicks, we just want to wish you a happy holidays and sorry for the delay on all the videos. Guys, I don't think I've put a video together since before Thanksgiving. It is now after Christmas, and we are just still steady slacking. But at this point, I don't even remember what I've recorded and what I have not recorded, so it's going to be a little bit of everything. So let's just get into it from Thanksgiving up until now. Let's catch you guys up. gonna try to throw a little video together for you guys. So yes, we are home in Parsonsburg behind my mom's house here in Maryland. This is our little campground, little campsite. We got our Christmas decorations, some Christmas presents laying out, you know, doing it all. Now, fast forward to today and what we are doing on this beautiful day. Finally had that cold weather push through. I'm sure it was cold where you guys are. I think it was cold all over the United States, where as of Christmas, it was like in the teens, 20s, wind blowing, miserable weather. We've actually got a day with some sunshine, no wind, like 40s or 50s. I don't know what it is today. Jasmine's Jeep is in the shop getting a new windshield because, you know, those Jeeps are prone to cracking. I'm gonna throw some clips in here. The old Megacab getting some much needed work done. You know, those 48 REs in those trucks, just no bueno. So we didn't do a full coverage on it. Took it to the guys at Muldoons Diesel Performance. Got a tow transmission put in. We're super excited about that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But for now, Santa Claus has brought us a new RV lock. So, you know, you have your basic door handle set up on your camper. But honestly, Jasmine's always been a little uneasy ever since the dealership told us that anybody with a keystone can pretty much open up these RVs. So with that being said, she's always wanted to do this, and I have seen these as well, and they're apparently pretty sweet. So we're looking forward to installing this, and I'm gonna see how hard it is. Dog's inside, so we're gonna go ahead and pop the door handle off and pop this thing on. This has a keypad entrance, a wireless lock and unlock, and it's supposed to be a 10-minute install. So we'll see, figure it out. So after that little time lapse, the direction says take the 4 screws out that hold the faceplate on the inside of your door. And then the 2 screws holding your strike plate on, and then your outside part of your door handle should come off. And then let me show you something real gross. As I pop this thing off, look at all these little buggers. They were all over the campground in Virginia. Thought we had seen the end of them, but they are still all in here. That is gross. Stink bugs, whatever you want to call them, nasty things. So yeah, got that part out. And as far as the directions, that is all there is to remove your existing handle. So pretty simple. I don't know if it's been 10 minutes, but essentially you can kind of see it. I messed up, did the one thing he told me not to do, which was you got to tuck the wires in before you put this in, and I started tightening up the strike plate without having my wire tucked in. So once I tucked that in, screwed the strike plate in, and then was able to get the backside of the handle installed with the 4 screws provided. It just says you have to hold this handle. When you screw it in, make sure it's straight, and then tighten everything up. There's a button on the back here for the key fob that you can do on or off. It says once you plug in the back to the front, you should hear a beep. So we heard that, and we're getting ready to make sure that we're functioning properly. It says press 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess, so I don't know if you guys can see, but it has like a locking deadbolt that comes out, which is something that your factory lock does not come with. So I think that's what makes it a little bit more secure, is that when you lock your actual RV, it only locks this part, and this actually has a deadbolt that comes out, and it locks the, whatchamacallit? Oh, it doesn't. So it just locks that. Okay. Mom, it's our neighbor, you know, just out here celebrating the holidays. Unlock. And you can see, our deadbolt went back inside. So, pretty nifty. So I had to call him back up because I couldn't figure out the electronics. Is it locked? So now we'll unlock it. Is it open? Yeah.
Is that what you want? You want to be hooked up?
So it took me a little while. I was reading the directions wrong. Jasmine corrected it for me because she's an angel. Because I was getting ready to get frustrated. So yeah, we got that. One of the key fobs isn't working. I'm wondering if the batteries are dead. Shoot me, dog. Yeah, buddy. I'm trying to do a vlog here. Anything to say? You got a toy? Where's your toy at? Oh, okay. There it is.
Good boy.
Okay. Bring it back. Come here. What are you doing? Good boy. What is up, guys? I just want to take a second and talk about this thing right here, the Megacab, the 06, the apple of my eye, besides Jasmine, obviously. Shout out to you, girl. But we are currently headed south. Can't tell you where we're headed yet, but I just want to take a second and talk about some of the things that we did while we were home in Maryland. So I really wanted to focus on this thing to make it more reliable. So basically, we weren't having any issues with our brakes, but we were having excess brake dust on one of the wheels, and that bugs the crap out of me. When you just clean your truck and you take it down to the local store and you get back and you just got that dingy orange and brown crap all over your wheel. So after further inspection, I had plenty of brake pad left, but it just, I guess, was the material was coming off in a weird way on that wheel. I don't know if somebody had replaced the brake pads with a cheaper brand or what, because like I said, that's the only wheel that does it. So I tried to just put OEM brake pads back on. They're a little expensive, but I didn't want to mess with a cheaper brand and have the same issue. So I tried to put new OEM brake pads on, but unfortunately, even though the caliper was working properly, it's a 2006, so it had seen its miles in its lifetime. And when I tried to compress the cylinder, I got it to go in enough to get it back on the rotor and the brake pads. But when I got it all back together, I went golfing like 20 minutes away, and all I could smell was brake pad, and the caliper was getting really hot. It didn't lock up or pull a different way. But after reaching out to my buddy Steve, who works on cars every day, he said, you know, it could be something small, but he's like, more than likely your caliper's given up. If that piston didn't want to go in, maybe it's locked up in there. So it's better off you just replacing it, and, you know, peace of mind. So I agreed, because when I'm hooked up to this thing, I don't want any issues, and I don't want that kind of thing to happen to me. So I will say, I don't know if I shot myself in the foot. My buddies of mine were giving me crap, because I did only replace one side, and I know you're typically supposed to replace both sides. I got the caliper from Napa. They're, you know, rebuild, reman calipers with lifetime warranties. But I have heard of stories that people put brand new ones on and they lock up within a few hundred miles. So my other side has been perfectly fine. The back has been perfectly fine. So in the mindset of my dad, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we replaced one side. Fingers crossed, everything's good so far. Got rid of the smell. The caliper's no longer getting warm. So hopefully we can go many more miles with these things, and eventually eventually, if the other one does go, we'll go ahead and get that thing replaced. But that being said, now going to the opposite of what I just said, of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because as many of you guys know, with these third gens, my favorite trucks, second gen, third gen, the Dodges, the Cummins, the 5.9s, even some first gens, but they don't have the same transmission. All of the good also comes with a bad, and that bad is named the 48RE. It is the 4-speed transmissions that they put in these things. Not the greatest. They can build and hold tons of power. People do it all over the country. But from the factory, they have known to fail. And especially when you add a little bit of horsepower and or tow heavy, they have been known to fail. So, going against my own rule, normally you would just let it go until something happens and then try to get it fixed. Why didn't I do that? But friends of mine are like, if it ain't broke, like, why are you spending the money on it? I contemplated back and forth, but at the same time, I had to realize that we were going to be on the road all over the country for the next year at least. So if something was going to happen, I would rather know that I tried to build it correctly so it didn't break on me, I guess. Trying to do a little preventative maintenance. I don't know if I said that right. Can't talk today. But basically, I just wanted to know that I had the best of the best of the best of the best inside the transmission to hold any kind of horsepower that I would really throw at this thing, and or the weight that I put behind it. So I had to bite the bullet and just go ahead and do it. With that being said, I believe some of the best Dodge transmission builders are on the East Coast. You have Firepunk in Ohio, Muldoons up in Delaware, and TRE down in Virginia Beach, who, from what I understand, Tim Barber down there at TRE taught Levon everything he knows about transmissions years and years ago, and they've kind of grown into what they are today. And shout out to my buddy Trent Owens of Melting Pistons. He has actually teamed up with TRE Diesel and is starting to do some diesel performance work through them. I'm not quite sure if he's doing it out of his shop still or if he's going to be at their shop in Virginia Beach. I don't really know. He just released this past week, I think, that he was teaming up with him. So congratulations to him. That's awesome. So we're actually looking to hit him up when we get down this way to see if he'll help us do some work. That would be pretty awesome. Check out his shop, see what he's got going on with his channel and stuff like that. So with that being said, we went with Muldoons Performance Transmissions up in Newcastle, Delaware. For a couple of reasons, but mainly it was the closest one to where I lived in Maryland. And our buddy Drew Carter with the compound turbo VP44 truck that we did the YouTube video about is also running one of Muldoons' first transmissions before he even had a shop. He said he just used to do it out of the garage. I got to sit down and talk with John Muldoon and a couple of the guys that worked there. Awesome experience. My aunt and uncle live really close to there, so I was able to stay up there in Pennsylvania while my truck was getting done, and then they were able to drop me off so I could pick it up, and everything's going smoothly. We'll go ahead and add the build sheet for Muldoons Tomax transmission here. You guys with those details. You can kind of see we got the triple disc converter from Suncoast, a billet input shaft, upgraded valve body, all the clutches, everything went through. We got a new deep pan, so super excited to put this thing to work and having the added security of knowing that pretty much anything I want to throw at this thing it will handle. There's a horsepower rating on the trans. I just called them, kind of told them what I had going on, what my future plans for the truck were, and I wasn't adding, a full manual valve body or anything over 800 horsepower, so I was good to stay with the Tomax transmission. And Firepunk and TRE also offer Tomax transmissions, but I really liked the billet input shaft that came with it and their explanation on the website about how they do their valve body differently for the Tomax setup. Let me go and pay the tolls. Alrighty. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna check though.
That's cool, right in front of the cop car.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Forgot to turn my propane off. Don't have my boots on either. It's our first time traveling through the tunnel too, so keep your fingers crossed for us. And Jasmine's actually never driven through the tunnel by herself. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap up our trip from Virginia, Thanksgiving, to back home for the holidays, to after the New Year's, and we are now leaving Maryland into Virginia. We look forward to sharing our experiences with you guys, having fun with everybody, and I hope your 2023 is going to be your best year yet, because we're hoping that me and Jasmine will be traveling all across the country, and we are really going to have a fun time. Me, her, and Bubby hitting the road. So I'm going to get off here because we're about to hit the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, head on about our way. We are headed south. That's all I'm going to leave you guys with. We will fill you in when we get down there, down yonder, maybe near the Chattahoochee, maybe not, I don't know, whatever. We're going to cut it.